Welcome to Fit Talk with Coach Luis. If you're serious about getting fit, then this is your show. This is a podcast where fitness enthusiasts share all the ups and downs, the challenges, and the victories on their fitness journey. Now, here's your host, Coach Luis.
All right, so welcome everybody again to another edition with Fit Talk with Coach Luis, and today we are talking to Hannah. Hi Hannah. So this is our first time we're doing a video. So this is the first for myself, first for Hannah. So bear with us while we work with this. And so, yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself, Hannah. Where are you at right now?
Where am I sitting?
Yeah, because I see some maces back there and some rings. So
I'm actually in our office here at True Coach, and we are located in Boulder, Colorado. But we have this little fancy room here for purposes just like this, or even a quick little workout or demo that we do sometimes. So we got a pretty cool setup in here.
I like that. I'm planning to go to visit you guys.
Definitely
next year. So hopefully we can do another little follow-up in that same room and be like, this is what we were talking about, guys. This is the spot that we're talking about. So I think it'd be pretty neat.
Yeah.
And yeah, so let's get this started. So tell me, what is it that you feel that drove you to being healthy and into fitness?
So I started gymnastics when I was 3 years old, and legend has it that I actually flipped out of my crib.
Oh, you were gymnastic by birth.
So I do not remember, but I am told that I threw pillows on the ground, supported myself up on the side, and somehow flipped out and went out to my dad and was like, "Hi," and he was like, "Hey, how'd you get out here?" And the rest is history. So I ended up starting gymnastics, did that through college. So always have been into working out, being healthy. And then I retired after college, and now I've been doing CrossFit for about 6 years. So it's still a big part of my life, and work for a fitness company. So there seems to be a theme.
Yeah. And I mean, that means you're following your true passion. You're following your true goals and what you really want to do in life. And I mean, you somersaulted out of the crib. So that's what you wanted to do since you were a child. So you're following your true passions. That's really good. Nothing wrong about that.
Yeah.
Nice. So what, have you felt any struggles you've dealt with along the way that you can tell us about?
Oh, certainly.
Yeah.
I mean, I think people know, gymnastics is a pretty demanding sport, just in general on your body, mentally. I find it carrying over into other aspects of my life, like just being detail oriented. Which comes probably from gymnastics training. And, you think about, are your fingers in line the way they should be? Are your toes pointed? Are you, high up on your toes as possible? All these little just kind of always the body image. And in gymnastics, you are, oh no. Automatic lights. Okay, there we go.
Hey, you're
struggles and
there you go. Yes, we're dealing with struggles here, and then boom, everything's dark. It's kind of like how I felt when I was going through those struggles. So now we got a visual of how you felt.
Right, that's awesome. Okay, remind me to wave my hands every once in a while. No, but I think the sport is, you are literally being judged all the time. So always having a coach there to guide you, but also judging you on the skills that you do and how they look, and then what you look like doing them. So beyond the actual skills that you're performing, but body image, just, I think as we've seen recently, society has changed as a whole in how they approach being healthy and fit. So for myself, learning to go from, hey, have a light salad the night before a competition, to, hey, you should actually fuel your body so that it can get you through what you need to.
Exactly.
That's been a big mental shift for me.
Very, very true. And then using it as a source of fuel for your body, and not thinking of it as, like you were saying before, was not using it as the enemy, knowing that you have to eat, you have to eat
and it's okay.
correctly. And it is, and it's completely okay. Yeah. So that's the really good thing that you've been able to learn all that and make those good positive changes, overall. So
for sure.
really good. And that, to feel confident as you are in a person, that's a really good thing too. It's strong, it's a very positive outcome to have from having those struggles, to have dealt with in the past.
Yeah, for sure.
So what's your take then on things like negative thoughts and then insecurities? I know you talked a little bit about body image, but what about on those other two things?
I'm looking at what I sent you already. And it's funny because people know me as a very positive person, and I am, like, I'm always happy. I'm always in a good mood. Even if I'm not, it is a goal of mine that you should never know that unless if it is something, super drastic. But if I'm grumpy today, you should not know that. So it's kind of interesting for me personally, just that, like, I am so positive. Yeah, there are a few things that I deal with internally, but, I don't know. I try not to let that affect things outside of.
Right.
It's funny, like, I love birthdays. Some people don't celebrate their birthday. They're not excited about it. Well, I get excited about it. I think to myself, hey, it's my half birthday today. Like, they're like, so, like, why do you even know that? And I'm like, how do you not know that? Or just, it's walking into the office, and instead of just saying to someone, hey, good morning, I'm like, hi, how are you? And, they're almost kind of like taking
caught off guard.
Yeah, but, like, why, to me, it's like, why not provide that little extra, like, happiness or positivity?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's so important to have that, because we're dealing with so much stuff day in and day out that it's really nice to have that little nice positive moment. Like, wow, okay. Who was that? I have no idea. But it was like, wow, that was nice. It's not that difficult to just show kindness.
Yes.
With all the, like you said, all the nonsense that's going on in the world right now, we can use a lot of that. We can use a lot of love. We can use a lot of more positive things. And I love that you love to do handstands almost everywhere.
Yes. Hashtag handstands with Hannah.
That's right. So those are really good things where like you said, maybe some people are like, well, why would I do a handstand for this? It's not, why not?
Right. We even joke in the gym, we'll be going through class, like, through the warm up, and the coach will be like, how's everyone feeling today? And, like, nobody responds. So I'll on purpose go, great, like, super loud, and everyone's like, huh? And they're like, thanks, Hannah. And then we even joke that, like, my pain face is a smile.
Yep.
I don't know.
That's good.
Yeah.
If that's how you portray it, then that'll actually be very infectious to other people in a good way. Where it rubs off, just like how negativity rubs off on people.
Exactly.
So does positivity. But sadly, people are more used to the negative of everything. That's more like normal. Like, yeah, I know. Here we go, another day or whatever. Instead of like, oh, you're so bubbly and chipper and happy, and that shouldn't be the weird thing. So that's a really good thing that you're an ambassador for positivity. So that's a good thing.
I try.
Yeah. And so what is I know you said, like, you were saying that this whole year has been a very inspirational moment. So can you walk us through a little bit of that?
Sure. So after college, I went to grad school, got my first job out of school, studied sports management. So it was for a sports marketing agency. And I was like, hey, this is super great. Like, I still get to be involved in sports. I'm not necessarily in the front office of a team or anything, but most of our clients were college athletics marketing employees. And so I got to be involved with many different schools and see what they were doing across the country. And to me, that was awesome. It was kind of the best of both worlds. So I had this great job, I barely did like a phone interview and left school and was able to start working, worked there for 5 years, and then just very, very unexpectedly got laid off. Nothing to do with job performance or anything like that, just where the company was at that time. So gotcha. I had just signed a year lease on a new apartment, like literally the week before. Booked a trip to a destination wedding that I was in for the summer, and then thought I had food allergies, and so was paying for doctor's appointments looking into that, which I don't have food allergies, so that's good. But all of these things just happened at one time.
Wow.
Yes. So I was in Norman, Oklahoma. So I stayed there for a few months trying to figure out, what's next? What am I going to do? That turned into about 6 months. Finally was like, I can job search back at home in Dallas and with my parents and not pay rent. So I moved home and then came across the position with True Coach. So that was from April till like in the fall, September, October. Did a few interviews with them, and they were like, hey, would you move out to Colorado? And I was like, sure. My stuff's packed and ready to go. So we joke here that I made the move in record time. Like, I think I had accepted the job, come out to visit for a weekend, went home on a Monday, called the movers on Tuesday, and I was driving on Thursday.
Oh my goodness.
So they're like, wow, that must be a world record. So, it was not something that was obviously in my plan, but it was just kind of a big leap of like, yeah, I never thought I'd live in Colorado, but give it a shot, found this job, things that I'm passionate about. I was already familiar with the product as I used it for a few years. As a client, we use it at our gym. So it was a great fit. And then, since then, so work's been great. I got another new apartment that I do not plan on breaking the lease.
Okay, good. So you're not living out of your car. Okay, awesome.
No. I'm all set now. And then the guys that own the gym in Oklahoma, where I went for 5 years, have moved out here and opened a gym. So I have friends already there, get to keep up with the same programming, all the little stuff. And then, like I said, I got nutrition back on track, which, like, going back to the body image things, that whole thing kind of just happened very, very slowly, and I didn't really realize it. I was, even when I wasn't working, I was actually spending more time in the gym. But I guess over those months, I don't know what happened, and before I knew it, I was like, oh no.
Yeah. Well, moving is a big, wave your hands.
I know. Waving. There we go.
Well, we're helping the environment. Another positive thing. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. So I that happens a lot with moving. It's a lot of stress on the body. So it's so normal to have that happen. And I know you said that you lost like 20 plus pounds since January.
Yeah.
So how was that transition?
That's been awesome. Like I said, I knew I was a little bit out of shape, I guess, but it wasn't just like, oh, I've gained 20 pounds. It was like, okay, I'm a little bit bigger than I feel like I used to be. I kind of noticed it. And then I think one day around the holidays, I saw a picture and I was just like, okay, this has to stop.
Yeah.
So I got that back on track. But the interesting part is I was probably only like 10 pounds over where I typically had sat for many years. So now to be even 20 less, so to be even less to where I was like, yeah, this is okay. I feel really good. Like, I'm wearing clothes I haven't worn in a few years. And even just, one, getting used to the altitude working out here
that is true.
Very hard. So doing that plus not being in your best shape. So now I feel much better. I've been here about 7-8 months now. So the altitude feels better, but things are just easier to do. I mean, doing a handstand push-up or a pull-up, like even 3 pounds makes a difference, and you feel
absolutely does. Yeah. So how has, going back to True Coach and how you started working with them, and you said you used them before in your gym, so can you tell us a little bit about what True Coach is?
Sure. The gym in Oklahoma that I went to is called Coda CrossFit, and they have
Coda CrossFit.
Yeah, little plug for them.
No. Yeah.
But they have 6 locations, so a few in Oklahoma City, one in Norman, one in Tulsa, and then the Norman owners moved out here and took over a gym in Colorado. So now we have Coda CrossFit Ironview. But a few years ago, they introduced like a more personalized programming option for their members. So I signed on with one of the coaches from the gym. I still do like the class workouts, and then they have different tracks that you can follow, like aerobic workouts, strength, weightlifting, gymnastics, endurance, all these different little things that they program. So the coach helps me personalize like what to do when based on my weaknesses and strengths and whatnot. So they use True Coach when they started that program through the gym for their individual clients. So I've been a client for about 3 or 4 years. And so what True Coach is if you are a coach or a personal trainer, you can use the platform to plan your workouts and deliver them to your clients, and your clients can be in the gym with you or as far as across the world in different countries. So hopefully, the goal is to save the coach's time, be more efficient. You can, write a 6-week program once and then assign it out to as many clients as you'd like. And the goal is to eliminate those spreadsheets and extra email.
Right. Yeah. So how do the clients get the programming?
So we have an app for iOS right now for clients, so you can download the app, or you can do it through a web browser. So you have your own account set up with your coach, you're linked to them, and then you just log in and your workouts are there for the day. And you can write in your results, you can upload videos, leave comments, send messages. So it's like your coach is there with you.
In your back pocket.
And for me, the coolest part, detail oriented, is I can keep track of my results, and we have metrics that you can keep track of. So for the benchmark CrossFit workouts that you test every once in a while, 1 rep max lifts, 3 rep maxes, whatever you want, you can keep a metric for. And so since I've been using it for a few years, it's really cool to look back and see I used to be at this weight and now I can lift this weight. And even just in general, before True Coach, I think back to when I started CrossFit, I couldn't get 85 pounds over my head on a snatch, and now I can do, over 100, and I'm just like,
wow,
that's so cool. Just
we'll do that. We'll do that when I go there.
Yeah. But it's just, you don't realize it.
Right.
Without, I never said I'm specifically going to work on this to increase the weight. So just over the years, you maybe forget how strong you've gotten or how far you've progressed. So to look back on and be like, wow, I really have done stuff.
Absolutely. And it's really good to see when you get to, like you said, the track of it, see the progression, see how much stronger you've become.
Yeah.
And like you said, you're doing those, 100 plus pounds. That's a lot of weight.
Yeah.
So to see the progression and see how much stronger you're getting, it's such a huge motivator to have that. So very cool. Very cool. Your light's gone off again.
I need to know how often they do that so I can be ready for it.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's a warm up.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice little stretch there.
Yeah. Staying active.
Yeah.
So I know you're going to think about this one, but have you thought about that? What is your motivation? What is your why for doing what you do?
I think, just in general, I just always want to keep progressing and doing better. I don't want to plateau, and I know that's pretty general in life, but when it comes to, CrossFit, am I training for the CrossFit Games or take it super seriously? No, but I don't want to just get complacent and, stay the same. So I always want to be doing better. And so I think if I can, do better in the gym, do better at work, how can we do our job better? How can we make your lives better as coaches and clients? How can I just be a better person? So I think motivation behind that is just keep getting better.
Absolutely. That's a great way to see things, because that's kind of how I modeled my whole entire, everything that I do is to live to progress, because that should be what we do always. Is just like you said, it's perfect. Never be complacent. Right. Always want a little more. And it doesn't mean that you're greedy or you're never happy. It just means that you want to always continue to better yourself. Yeah. And that's always a positive. Yeah. And I think doing that, we will live our best, most fulfilled lives doing that.
I think on a small scale, an example of that is, so in gymnastics, there's different levels, level 4, 5, 6, 7. There's level 10, which is most college level gymnasts, and then elite. And elite are the girls that you see at the Olympics, on the national team, all that stuff. I did level 10 for 7 years, which is a long time.
Yeah, that is a long time.
Most people stay at a level for maybe 2 years if they're not ready, and then kind of go to the next one after that, 2-3 years. So I was there for 7. I was young when I got there, and then was okay, college scholarship is the goal here, so I'm good at level 10 for a while. But in those 7 years plus throughout college, I pretty much stuck to the same skills that I was doing in my gymnastics routines because I was good at them. So it was like, okay, you can get the least amount of deductions and you're going to make your routine. Why do something scarier, harder for no reason? And so I think that's just kind of a small example of, okay, I got set in my ways. And then even with the first job, I was there for 5 years. Like I progressed a little bit, throughout work with responsibilities and this and that, but I got comfortable in my routine. So I know that I tend to do that. So I am aware of that and always want to keep trying to that's why I moved to Colorado, right?
Exactly. And that's not a small move. Moving from a different state is always a big move because like you said earlier, you're leaving friends, you're leaving family and stuff like that. But if and again, this doesn't mean that for anyone listening, if they're happy with what they're doing, good for you. That's excellent. That's fantastic. Just be the best that you can be at what you're doing. But if you aren't happy and you know that you can change things and you want to do better, then do it. And there's no way better to go by doing those changes than having a coach that'll help you and guide you through those things, because that's really what we're here for. We're guides to help everyone. So again, for anyone listening, now you know Hannah.
Yeah.
You can reach out to her if you need help.
Definitely,
so that's what we're here for. So absolutely. So are there any good books that you read that help you, that you recommend?
That is one thing that I need to do more of.
We all do.
Yeah, I think, okay, this is not, it's embarrassing just because how long ago it was, but I think the last series that I read for fun was Harry Potter. So not embarrassing that it's Harry Potter, but just when those were new things.
Right.
So lately, I mean, beyond after school and stuff, I know I need to read more, sometimes it was work related or, not how to do your job better, but things, to help you progress in your job or your work life. But one that I did read was The Food Freedom by the Whole30 author, Melissa Hartwig, and that hit close to home as far as the mental aspects with your relationship with food. So I try to keep that in mind. Awesome.
Yeah. And 3 top things that you like to do on your active rest days, besides handstands.
Yeah. I don't do as many handstands as it may seem like, but that is the one thing I have left that I can still easily do. I'm not people, I always tell people, or when they ask, oh, you do gymnastics, do you still do anything? I'm like, no, it's not like basketball where you can just go shoot.
Yeah.
You have to be in a certain shape to be able to do that, and your body has to be able to handle it. So, the one thing that I could do is handstands and cartwheels.
Yeah, it's true. It's I don't have parallel bars in the back of my car all the time, so I'm not doing that stuff.
Mean, I think I did a standing backflip for the first time in, 9 years.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
But it is super cool that once you do it, your brain remembers it, and it feels it doesn't feel like it's been 9 years since you've done it. It may hurt your ankles when you land a little more. But I was I feel like I could do these all the time, right? I just did them yesterday.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. But yeah, active rest days, I'm trying to, like I said, new to Colorado. So trying to get outside more. I'm not used to mountains. I need to buy some hiking shoes and some outdoor clothing, but slowly but surely I'm becoming more into the lifestyle here of just being outside. It's sunny here all the time.
Yeah.
Weather's great.
Yeah, I have a few clients out there and they love it. Yeah. It was the one in Boulder and hopefully when I go there, I'll get to meet him too. I can see him again, but it's just it's beautiful there. You have a lot of outdoor activities you can do out there. You won't not get bored.
Right. And I think it was my 3rd day on the job, and it was December, so it was cold, but Casey, our CEO, we were standing around and he was like, so have you been hiking yet? And I was like, no.
It's a requirement.
Yeah, I was like, 1, it's cold. 2, I don't have any of the right clothing. 3, I've been here for 5 days.
Let me get settled in first.
Yeah, give me a week, I'll get there, Let me, figure out this work stuff first. No, so I'm trying to get outside more, and, I as a gymnast, we weren't allowed to get hurt outside of the gym per se. So I think I tried skiing one time when I was 12. So I'm looking forward to trying that again.
Awesome. You definitely got the room for it there.
Yeah. Everybody here loves some powder days, they call it. So
Powder days. Yeah. And it's true. It's very different because you're from Texas, right?
Yeah. From Texas originally, grew up there.
It's a big difference.
Yeah.
Like I grew up in Florida. So yeah, it's completely flat compared to here to Charlotte is mountains everywhere. So it was a lot of adjusting, but I wouldn't go back. I love it. I love it.
I even said, don't get me wrong, I love Texas. I love Dallas. Like, it's home. It's great. But I went home to visit recently, and for the first time, I was kind of like, it's a little boring here. Like, there's not really much to do besides eat and shop and go see some sports, you know?
Right. It's a whole completely different way of living. Absolutely different. Yeah. So what message would you want to send to anyone listening?
Oh, man. I'd say, try to find the happiness and the positive in everything if you can. I know it sounds cheesy, but like, if that means saying hi a little more excitedly to somebody, or even just a little extra smile. I mean, people give me a hard time because I like wave to them like this when I see
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, if you can do that, I always try to see the positive side or the optimistic point of view if you can. Now, that's not, I don't take that too far and not be realistic or whatever.
Absolutely.
But try to, if something happens, you're like, well, at least it's not this, or well, maybe we can do this, or kind of,
Yep.
Yeah, finding the positive. And then my favorite quote from my longtime gymnastics coach was, "Hard work never disappears." And
yeah, I really like that statement. That's really good.
Yeah, like,
it's so true. Doesn't matter what you're doing,
right.
Just work hard. That'll never go away.
Yeah, and if you do the work, people need to notice. People will notice if you put the work in. You don't have to tell them.
Yep.
Even with like the nutrition stuff, like I didn't really tell anyone that I, was working with a coach, but I didn't tell them what I was doing or how I was eating or this or that. And before I knew it, hey, you look really good. Like, hey, have you lost some weight? Like,
yeah, absolutely. It's so true.
Yeah,
so true. Well, this is awesome. Thank you so much for sharing all this with me. I really appreciate it. And with everyone listening, again, if you need to reach out to Hannah, how can they reach out to you and let them know your handle and all that? Yeah,
definitely. You can find me on Instagram. I think it is HN, as in Nicole, DEUTS is my Instagram. And then if you ever need anything, even just from me or with True Coach, you can and cut. And send us a message to our support chat. So we have like those little chat bubbles on websites that you see. You can say, hey, where's Hannah? And I will answer that for you. Or you can send an email to support@truecoach.co.
Awesome. And it's .co, not .com.
Not .com.
Because if you do .com, you will not get a response. I went through that. So yeah, it's .co.
Yeah, and then even if you just type in truecoach.co, that'll take you to the website, and our little chat thing is there as well. Yep. And again, seriously, you can say, hey, I need to talk to Hannah, and somebody will send that message right to me, and I would be happy to talk to you. That's
what I liked about it. It's real people, so it's really nice. Actually reach out. It's not a bot. Oh my goodness. Yay.
Well, I was going to say, we get those messages sometimes like, are you a bot? Are you a real person? And I'm like, no, I'm real. Like,
I'm a real boy. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, awesome. Well, thank you so much again, Hannah, for taking the time and sharing a little bit about what you do, the guys there at True Coach, and for, sharing your story with us.
Yeah, so happy to. I'm thankful for the opportunity and that you asked me to join you. So
absolutely.
Fun. Yeah.
All right. Well, stay tuned next time, guys, for the next chat. And until then, I'll see you soon.
Yes. Bye.
Thanks for checking out Fit Talk with Coach Luis. Remember to follow us on social media, on Instagram at Live2Progress and on Twitter at Live2Progress. Stay tuned for more episodes of Fit Talk with Coach Luis coming soon. And remember, always live to progress.